Good morning, Pete here from A Bit Twisted. So today, showing my Ashford Traveler. It's an early version that was built with the flyer on the left instead of the right. And I confirmed that it was true. This is not a mistake from Ashford themselves. The original table up here for the uprights was from the early Ashford traditionals, and these little indentations here were not deep enough, so if this was put over on the right side, then the bands would rub against the wood here. So eventually they switched over to a different design and then moved these over to the right. But this is one of the earlier ones. It is a double drive or Scotch Tension. It is set up so you can choose either one, whichever one you might prefer to use. Some people prefer Scotch Tension. Some people prefer the double drive. This will do both. The flyer itself is also different, but it is an Ashford flyer, and that was in the early days before they made the flyers. A little bit different, but this works well. When I got the wheel, these were loose, so I cleaned them up, put them back in, re-glued them in so they're not coming out. And otherwise, everything's pretty much original, except the actual drive, the adjustment band for the Scotch Tension. I changed it to a different type of fishing line versus just your standard monofilament. And it has an original spring for it for the Ashford, and it's complete. It's a complete wheel. It has a built-in lazy Kate, so there's three pegs. There's 3 bobbins for this wheel. One bobbin looks like it was slightly different because the coloration is different than the wheel. The other 2 look like they belong to the wheel, but they are all Ashford parts. They are proper for this wheel. So let's just get spinning and show you that it works. When I set my wheels up, I set them up so they're a light tension, not a heavy tension. And I don't like heavy tension. It just puts too much drag on everything. And anyway, this is what we have here, and I am using a blend of Southdown and Churro, the undercoat of a Churro fleece is what's blended here that I'm spinning, and it is spinning it kind of fine. A couple little lumps and bumps here, but that's fine for what I'm showing here. It's also fine for your wool that you're making for your project. This wheel will do pretty much everything. It's not super bulky type wheel, but you can do some pretty decent yarn with it if you do double ply, triple ply. So if I did this size here in triple ply, it would be a nice knitting yarn. I like to do like this because I like to do a 2-ply for the loom, and that's my thing here. But it's a fully functioning wheel. This will do everything you need. It's nice in the corner. It's nice to travel. You don't need a super fancy wheel because the looks of a wheel will not determine the quality of your yarn. That's the wheel is a tool. Admire the yarn, not the wheel. So you don't need to spend an arm and a leg to get into spinning, and this one will do the job that you need. And this wheel is up for sale. It's not one that I need. I have my wheels that I use, and but this one needed some little bit of work to it, and we got it done and got it cleaned up pretty good. And it's quiet. It's spinning well. It adjusts well. It is just a single treadle. They do make a double treadle for this older wheel, but they don't make them new anymore, so you'd have to find one used if you wanted that, but it's not necessary. So check the yarn here. So that's what that yarn is going to look like. Because of the south down, it's going to be kind of stretchy. And so now I'm going to do a thing here and catch my flyaway yarn. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this up for Scotch tension. So what I'm going to do is take the double drive belt and back off the tension, and then I'm just going to flip it over to the one whirl. So basically it acts as though it's just a single drive band. And now I'm going to bring my Scotch tension, and and so if I do this, though, the problem with doing it this way is it also puts the yarn on backwards. So, but I do want to show you that it works. So what we're going to do is I'm going to undo all the yarn that I just spun on this thing. Just going to peel it off of here. It's just kind of a thing to show, so I'm not worried about wasting any yarn or anything. I've got plenty of wool to do demonstrations with that can be just spun and then thrown away. Not an issue. And so we'll do that. I will have leaders on both bobbins, or all three bobbins, so you don't have to worry about leaders. Yeah, so here's my waist. We'll just set it down there on that. Now I'm going to adjust this. So you'll get to see it move up as I adjust this. And I want that just a tiny bit. So I still want my bobbin to spin. Whoop, that's not on the whorl itself. There we go. There we go. Now we're on the whorl. So I want the bobbin to spin, but not freely on its own. If I let off the tension, then it'll spin, and then I bring it up to where it doesn't spin freely. Just like that. And that's how you should set it. Bring this in here. This is just churro right now. I carded it on the hand carders, and then I made a roving. Dizzed it off the carder to make a roving. See how much better this will spin, because I really like the churro. And so it's taking it up. So now that I've got some on here, I'm gonna move my bobbin over, or the thread on the bobbin, so you can see it going on. So you're not like, well, I don't see it going on. But you will. So it should be going on right around here. So both Scotch Tension and the double drive work. Just remember, you can't swap over in the middle of your spinning from double drive to Scotch Tension. If you start out Scotch Tension, you have to finish Scotch Tension. If you start out double drive, you have to finish out double drive before you start a new bobbin, because it winds the thread on backwards from itself, depending on which one you're doing. It's just how the beastie works. So carting and then dizzing off into a roving for this short churro undercoat is actually working quite well. So if you're looking for a double drive wheel that's a good travel companion and one to take with you, put in a small corner of a house if you have limited space, and you like double drive and Scotch Tension both, this is the wheel. This is the type of wheel that you want, and it's a good wheel. Ashford still makes parts. You can buy bobbins. You can buy parts if you need them. This wheel's been around quite a long time. It hasn't needed any parts. The bushings are still going after all these years. So it's definitely worth what it is. It's not a super glamorous wheel, but a good wax over this would probably be pretty nice. I've got new wood wax stuff that's is beeswax and walnut oil blended together, and what's nice is the walnut oil is a hardener, so it doesn't stay oily. It's kind of like linseed oil, and a beeswax blend. And I'm going to be using that on my another wheel. It's a new product that came out, and it's really nice. Makes the wood look good. Keeps it well protected. Keeps it moisturized. Okay, and swing this over this way. Next. These are not super fast wheels, but they're about middle of the road speed-wise, perfect for most everybody's needs. If you're into production and you need to make a lot of yarn really fast, these are probably not the wheels that you need. But if you're doing this for your personal use, or you're not worried about the time, this kind of wheel's perfect. So, pretty much done with this. I'm gonna check my yarn one last time. Need a little bit more twist in this. So if you're testing and it's not quite the way you want it, give it a little bit more twist. That means you're going to have to speed up your treadling or slow down your drafting. And so that's really good, and that would make some really nice yarn. It would make a really nice warm knitted hat, or even a nice little pair of socks for just wandering around the house in for warm. So that's where we're at. That's where we're going to end this, and we will talk to you later. And thanks for watching.